Alright, so after doing the last video, I decided that I want to follow that one immediately up with this one, and I'm sorry that my recording stuff requires me to do this in 10-minute chunks. I'm sorry. And I want to bring to you... So, I've been looking as critically as I'm capable of at what is wrong with one page. What is one page's weaknesses? And I touched on it a little bit, and, you know, the lore. And the more I thought about it, the more I came to the conclusion that the lore is what sets games like Warhammer apart from games like Kings of War with Mantic or with Infinity with those games are fantastic. I've never played Mantic, but I have played Infinity. Infinity is great. Aquarius Spell makes fantastic everything. I love it. It was super complicated, like complicated in ways I do not understand why it's so fucking complicated. Anyway, so we need heroes. And when I say we need a hero, I don't mean what Infinity did, where there's like 50 heroes, tons of them, they're everywhere, they're so common that it upset me. I played JSA, and you say what you will, I played JSA, that's what I played. And I felt like I had heroes that didn't really make me feel like they were heroes, but I felt like there was a lot of them, and then as I looked at the other factions, I felt like I saw heroes everywhere. And to its strength and to its detriment, but Warhammer specifically does a fantastic job of translating heroes from their lore to their game. And I think that is where one page really should consider looking. And this is just my opinion. My opinion does not matter in the long scheme of things. I don't know the one-page guy. He doesn't ask me how I feel about his stuff. And, you know, I'm sure nobody wants my opinion in most days anyway, so take it with a grain of salt. But that's where I'm at with this. That's the conclusion I've come to. And I have access to their builder because I bought their Patreon for the month, but I just haven't had time to sit and play with it. And I got to thinking, and when I think about orcs, Ghazghkull Thraka, right at the forefront. He is everything that I love about orcs boiled down. The video of the gentleman who does the voice lines, and I'll see if I can find it, but he is one of the best voice narrators I've ever heard in my life. He makes me want to pursue voice acting, and I truly respect the man. I believe his name is Chris something, and he's on Naturally RP Romeo Papa voiceover. He does TikTok, and he also does YouTube with compilations. Anyway, he did Ghazghkull Thraka, and it is moving. It is such a fantastic performance. I cannot do it justice. But it got me thinking. Ghazghkull, we've got the Mad Doc, Grosnick, we've got Boss Zadruk, and Boss Badruk are fantastic examples of what I mean. Badruk was the centerpiece for Pirate Orcs, Freebooters. He was fantastic, and Zagstruck, to this day, is probably one of my favorite ideas. Model is a little touch and go at this point, but he's one of my favorite ideas. Orcs that just strap rockets to their backs and go flying into combat, and he is that personified. Ghazghkull is one of my favorite characters in fiction at this point. Skinrock? Snickrot? Sorry. But it's the difference. It makes such a difference. I like Space Wolves, 40k Space Wolves, and Ragnar, and Loden and Ulrich, and they made the Space Wolves special to me. And I love one page, I truly do, and I want it to be the most successful game out there. And I don't even want it to compete with Warhammer. I want one day this to be the standard. Even if it's never bigger than Warhammer, I want it to be the standard because is how much I believe in this. And I think the biggest thing that they have that they need is they need officially supported with unique rules that you can create kinds of lists behind that give advantages to those kinds of lists. Heroes. And I get it. I know. I've seen the wiki. I'm on it a lot. You know, I appreciate the people who've gone through and just go, well, take a boss leader orc, give him the jetpack, and you've got your Zagstruck. But it's not. It's not Zagstruck, because Zagstruck was more than that. And I understand the need for making the system modular the way that it is, and I appreciate it, and I think that it's a great system. And I make these videos because I love this system. But we need a way to make heroes. And we need, even if it's not a lot, we need some lore that supports these heroes and gives us a view into these factions. And I am under no illusions of my own skill levels. I understand that, especially with a time crunch and a bunch of family stuff to deal with, man, some of my writing is not great. But some of the people have put out some truly amazing stuff, and I feel like I put some pretty solid characters together, even ones inspired by or adjacent to Warhammer stuff, just because I like the idea. But we need that. We need that in this game. So as I've been setting on it, I think this is the thing we need more than anything else for the next evolution of what a wargame should be. You need heroes that give you a reason to make the kind of army you want to make anyway. I want to have a orc army. This thing made me want to redesign my thoughts about orcs by itself. It's not perfect. It's not exactly the way I want, and mine came out a little screwy, and I may have to reprint his wings. But this is what I'm talking about, because this is a hero. This is a specific orc that is specifically, uniquely different than other orcs. Like, yes, you can make a war boss and you can just have him have all the stuff for it, but it's not the same. When I did the one-page rules writing jam, I did the Red Fury, and this is who I saw. Granted, I saw him a little different than this, but it's for the most part, it's the same. But it's such a fanciful idea. It's such a cool concept. And it's a shame that there's not a hero that I can have him proxy as that would give some reason to have it. Like, even if it was just something simple. Like, once a turn, or once a game, or whatever. I love those, like, one-off abilities that are powerful, like one shot. It's so cool. And it's such a not even a missed opportunity. It's such a difficult opportunity to take the most advantage of. So I understand why, One Page Rules really hasn't dedicated time to this, because, the armies are more important. But I think that the heart and soul of a universe lies in the characters of that universe. And I don't think that One Page has ever really been able to take that and run with it in a way that takes advantage of, like, a written lore and a game mechanic simultaneously. And I think that is the greatest weakness that One Page has currently, and the thing that I hope we see something. I love the idea of making characters for this universe and setting it in it. But when I see orcs in this universe, it may be completely different than orcs how other people see it. And without any kind of rule of lore, there's nothing that says my way is wrong or your way is right, but neither of our ways doesn't feel like either of us are following or going against the grain. It feels like we're all just playing in a sandbox, which is there's an appeal to that, but I think there's more to be had from defining the universe and the lore and then having that come alive than there is just making a system that works for all models that everybody makes. Hero Builder. I think Hero Builder is what they should invest in. I think that really is. This has been Dorkness Inc., and this has been a weird, ranty video that I don't know that will come off anywhere near as coherent as I would like it to, but I hope that it does. You have a fantastic day. I may take the YouTube video down and double this up, just because I don't want you guys to have to look at two different videos. But, Dorkness Inc. out.